Welcome back, Fun Fam, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradley's Fun. This is the Daily Dish with me, your host, Ron E. Bradley, and I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day, morning, evening, afternoon, middle of the night, whenever you're watching. By the way, if you're watching on the replay, hopefully you fast forwarded to at least this point, leave a like if you're watching live and you haven't liked it yet. Why haven't you liked it yet? Hit the like button. It helps it out so much. Yes, indeed. And then, of course, if you're watching this on the replay and you just want the stories, then you can fast forward about 25 minutes from now. And that's when we typically hit the stories because I got people in here I got to talk to. Loving you guys. Oh, speaking of the day, as of the recording of this, today is the 4th day of March 2025. We march on. Do we not march on? How's my day of March 2025? Okay, yeah. So as far as I can tell, my sound is good, which is helpful to know because I have more shows today. Yeah, this is, let's see if I can bend this down a little bit. This is Tuesday. Tuesday is my busy day, guys. You know, especially since T3PO decided to move to Tuesdays. And I have, as far as I can tell, I could be wrong. I gotta check. Sorry, I gotta write Jonas real quick. Give me a second, guys. There we go. All right, so as far as I know, I'm going to be on the Pro Show today. I'll probably be on T3PO. If I can stay awake for it, I'm going to be on Spice Lounge, at least part of it. But I plan on staying up late tonight to watch Daredevil Born Again. So is this Daredevil Born Again season 1? Or is it Daredevil season 4? Born Again. I don't know. I don't know which way they're good. Are my allergies any better? I haven't taken any medicine this morning, and I feel kind of okay. But I tell you what, I did something really stupid yesterday. So my wife brought home this cheese that she got. She got this pepper jack cheese, but it's not regular peppers. It's habanero pepper jack cheese. And I made a sandwich with it, a melted, like a grilled cheese sandwich. I am so cheap when it comes to grilled cheese. The way you're supposed to make it when it's really, really good, of course, is to butter the bread and then grill it in the pan and whatever. So I put the 2 pieces of cheese on it, and it was fine. I figured out how to make the flavor of it work so I wasn't dying. You're going to love this. I had a little thing of maple syrup, and I dipped it in that because I know that the base of the syrup, which is sugar, helps to counteract the spice of the pepper. And it did work. It actually worked. It wasn't horribly super duper hot. It was very interesting flavor mixing habanero pepper and maple syrup, I got to tell you. Wow. So what I'm getting to, though, is that's not the issue. Is I didn't think about the fact that I was eating that with my hands. It's a sandwich. And later on, I rubbed my eye and had not washed my hands off at that point from the habanero peppers. So, yeah, I rubbed pepper in my eye, which was far worse than allergies. So, anyway. But here we are with all of you this morning in the chat. Look at your beautiful faces coming on in here, and we appreciate every single one of you. You're helping me along with my caffeine over here in my Captain America, the real Captain America cup. There's Captain America, right? Canadian style habanero, yeah. You guys are, the energy that brings me here. You are, like you're my gigawatts. You are the energon, to my transformers. You're the energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning. Every morning, you guys being here helps me out immensely.
A toast, Autobots. Boy, these are good. I needed to refuel. Energy! This stuff's the greatest!
Energy. Oh, so thank you guys for being here. Prayers for Go and Shogi. I know Go and Shogi has fallen a little bit under the weather. That's probably he's sleeping in, which is what you should be doing. If you're not feeling good, you got to get that extra rest. So prayers for Go and Shogi, because I know he's out there. Let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Service Dog was first through the door this morning. So woof, woof, Service Dog. Fortunate enough to get to the neurologist today for the migraine. Following my favorite streamers while waiting for my appointment, hoping to ditch this migraine. Well, thank you for following and calling me one of your favorite streamers. I'm just out here doing my thing, hoping that I make people happy doing it. Snortapoopus Cuber, hello, humans and other creatures. What is up, Snortapoopus? Good to see you in the chat. As always, are you going to be around all the way through the day and through the night for Spice Lounge with Lorena tonight? Always love to see you in Lorena's streams. Tom F., happy Tuesday all. Tom F. and Snortapoopus going back and forth. Native Hawaiian, aloha. You know what? Native Hawaiian, I have a friend that's in Hawaii right now. He's at Aulani. And so I wanted to post to him that funny bit where Timon does the hula. And I didn't realize all the way back in 90, whatever that was, that The Lion King came out, when he did that scene, when he goes, "What do you want me to do? Dress and drag?" He literally says dress and drag in The Lion King. I didn't realize that. I don't think it was as big of a deal then, because most people back then, when we thought of drag, like if you just said drag, it just meant I'm going to dress like the opposite of what I am. So if I'm a male, I'm going to dress in female clothing, or if I'm a female, I'm going to dress in male clothing. And it was more of okay to be taken as a joke. And now I think people, transgenders would be offended by it or something, because nobody has a problem with, most people, 99% of people don't have an issue with somebody dressing in drag to be funny. For example, when you talk about Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams dressed as an old lady to be funny. And a lot of male comedians dress in drag to be funny. That is not the same as a drag queen, right? And so there is a huge distinction between a male dressing up like a female for humorous purposes and a drag queen doing inappropriate shows for children. There is the appropriate thing, that's the humor, and there's the very inappropriate thing, which I'm not even going to go into, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So let's keep saying hi to everybody that's out here. Okay, so prayers out to the family of Dolly Parton. Her husband, Carl, has passed away. Prayers and condolences for the Parton family. That is sad news. Life is short, people. Life is mortal life is short. Life goes on forever in some form or another. But mortal life, you got the one mortality to live, and make the best of it while you are here. And Pam Empson, Good morning, Pamela Empson in the chat. Hello, Pamela. Hi, Snort Poopus. Izzo's Place. Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure imagination. This is for Izzo. Mine's just the same. Mine's my Captain America. My Captain America cup does not do what your Starbucks cup does, Izzo. It's not. You have Izzo has a magical cup. Go check out his channel. It plays the introduction to imagination, pure imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Very cool. Hey, chat, what's happening today? What is happening today is Daredevil. I'm so excited for it. Something actually good from Marvel. I'm happy when Marvel does something right. And from what I can tell, and from people I trust, this is going to be really, really good, at least the first few episodes. So I'm excited about that. Andy W has come into his house. Good morning, fam. Another coast. It's so gorgeous. If you haven't been to the Oregon coast, there's a place that I want to stay on the Oregon coast, and I haven't gotten to stay there. I stayed at a nice place when I was there in 1995, but that was 30 years ago now. Good Lord. Anyway, very, very nice place in Oregon. I loved it. And Cannon Beach, and I really would love to go back to Cannon Beach and stay in the bed and breakfast there. It's very expensive. It's not cheap at all, but I would love to do it. Izzo's Place. Tom F., you rock, sir. Snortapoopus and Izzo. Snort, you glorious bear. Linda F. is in the chat. Prayers. Hello, Linda F. Native Wine, everybody saying hello to everybody. Are my allergies any better? Well, they're, I don't know. I know, it's true. It's true. You don't rub your eyes with heat. Good afternoon. Follow the Bradleys in chat. Sorry, I'm not trying to, my fingers slipping there. Canadian style habanero. Erica and Raph. Erica, how's it going? I hope you're doing better. Hope you're feeling better. I know she's been going through some stuff, as we all are. Andy W is here. Hello, Juliet. Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Rarely I will. Mr. Fulton Mraz says, good morning, Ron. Oh, I got injured on the basketball court, fell on my elbow in my basketball game last night, and now I'm still in the hospital. Oh, no. Prayers for Mr. Fulton Mraz, waiting for the doctor. Man, I tell you what, allergies, accidents, migraines, other things going on. Lots of prayers go out to everybody. And I'm telling you, it's same thing for me, guys. Same thing for me. There's so much that has been going on in my life this year that I haven't wanted. And all we can do is take all of this stuff that happens to us when it's not bad and try to focus on the positive outcome. As my wife always says, if we feel like something bad has happened to us, God has a reason for that happening. Always compare it to like the traffic stuff. Oh, this guy pulled in front of me and made me stop early, and got mad and burr. But you didn't know that had he not stopped in front of you and you would have kept going, you would have been like 10 seconds ahead of where you were. You would have gotten in a really bad accident. But God helped you he prevented that accident, which you'll never know that he prevented it, but it did happen. Like that kind of thing. So you got to kind of look at that. That's how you just have to, you have to look on the bright side and believe that all this stuff is happening for a reason with a good, positive outcome. Not always easy to think that way, but I certainly try. Good morning to Sue and the Bud Files. Good morning to Go and Shogi. You showed up. You didn't have to show up. I told everybody you were sleeping in, buddy. Prayers for Go and Shogi, because I know, man, I'll tell you what. It's going around. It's going around. The Bud Files. Hello, Pamela Empson says, I have had cayenne pepper in my eyes before. It is painful. Yes, pepper in the eyes is always painful. And I've done it to myself countless times because I'm that stupid. Just really, I don't know why you guys watch me. That's not really, I ain't the smartest chip off the block. Milton Berle used to dress and drag for him. Yeah, I have a friend in Branson, and he's a comedian, and he does all kinds of female characters. And it's hilarious. It's hysterical. Dressing in drag as a comedian, as a male comedian, dressing in drag for comedy purposes, it can and should be completely funny if it's done the right way. And there is a right way to do it, and that's perfectly fine. What if a female racer won a car drag race? Would she be a drag queen? I guess she would. I would assume even if a male racer won a drag race, but he would, he liked other guys. Maybe he's a drag queen too. I don't know. How does that work? I don't know. I don't want to get demonetized for this. I got to be careful. Dude Man Cuz is here. It was close. Oh, you're talking about my cup? No, mine doesn't. Yours plays notes. Mine only has one note. Snort Poop is going. Shogi, Pamela Empson, just trying to see. Everybody's saying Izzo has to head out. That's okay. Replay Magic, great. Have a great stream. We're gonna be talking about Daredevil in a little bit, and how I'm excited for that. And it's nice to have something in the Marvel universe that's coming up that people are excited about, talking about in a positive light, and actually anticipating in a good way. That is very, very exciting. It's really what we want. So we don't talk bad about Disney to talk bad about Disney. We don't talk bad about Marvel or Star Wars to talk bad about Marvel or Star Wars. We talk about these things when the people who are high up have made the wrong decisions, and we bring that to light. But it looks like everything with Daredevil is lining up to look good so far. And yes, Marvel has broken a lot of trust with the fans, but we're hopeful. And I've always said I think the MCU could be saved, but they've done a lot of bad stuff, a lot of dumb decisions, unfortunately. Like some of them weren't like recasting Cassie Lang, for example. That one bothered me. My mom is in the chat. Hello, Mom. Hi, Kathleen Fantazi. She says hi to everybody. And Tommy Doyle is here. Says, hail, Tommy Doyle. Good to see you. Oh, thanks. Feeling better. Don't want to spend another day in bed. Yeah, I understand. I was in bed like almost all day on Sunday, and it's just, you got to get up. You got to do something. So if you lasso the British Queen and drag her behind you, does that make her a drag? Oh, God. I don't know. Do they have a queen right now? They have a king. I don't know if they have a queen. Yeah. Tom is saying hi to my mom. Appreciate that. Go and Shogi, new phone. Who dis? Hiya, fam. You got a new phone. Congratulations. Oh, so thank you guys all for being here. Of course, I see 22 of you, 24 of you. I'm not sure how many watching right now in the chat, but thank you so much. As a matter of fact, one of the things that we want to do is celebrate all of you. And a lot of people, if you've never been to the show before, I always say this because there may always be somebody new coming to the show. When you do a show daily, you don't know who's coming in. A lot of regulars, but sometimes there's new people coming in, And for the new people coming in, I want you to know kind of how we do things. If we get up to the point where there's just so many people, like 100 people or more coming in at a time, which I hope I do. I hope that happens over the next few months. But anyway, if we get up to that point, then I may not have time to talk about what we do. I might just have time to do it. But we like to celebrate on this channel. We celebrate all of you. So for being here, we'll celebrate. But of course, anytime I get that extra financial support from you guys, whether that's via PayPal or buy me a coffee, whether it's a super chat, super thanks, super sticker, somebody becomes a member of the channel or drops gifted memberships or has even a member milestone chat or even buys something from the spread shop. By the way, this is the spread shop over here. It is my merchandise shop. But any of that type of stuff, any of those type of things, if I get any of that support during the show, we do a celebration. We love to celebrate you. What does a celebration look like? Well, that celebration could look something a little bit like this.
Is it too much? Too much? It's your birthday!
This is just the best of my scene. Thank you, Going Shogi, for putting that on the channel. By the way, Going Shogi and whoever else drops it before, I got to get you my new link for the fitness stuff that I do, that channel. Because the link that I have, I got to remember after the show to go and erase that link because it's not good anymore. The Team Beachbody link. Team Beachbody doesn't exist anymore. It's still Beachbody. There's still Beachbody, but I'm an affiliate now. Same type of a thing where, you purchase the merchandise through my shop, whatever, blah, 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 but it's different. It's no longer, and I'm happy about this. It's no longer network marketing. There was always a network marketing aspect to it that I never liked. And they changed it over to an affiliate situation, which is, I think, so much better, honestly. So, which also means that I have to get my workout in. I got my workout in yesterday, but it was pitiful. It was a pitiful workout, and it wasn't all the way through. I got more than halfway through it, but it was pitiful. Today, I got to get back on track with my regular workout. I had to do something to get back into it. Today's my regular workout. I'm committing to you right now that I'm going to do it, so I will get it done. But we do got to get to stories. And by the way, I've already got Culture's link up because Culture had posted it before. So I just wanted to let you know that I have Culture's link up already. There are so many stories. I have plenty of, just in that Park Place alone, there are so many stories. I'm not going to be able to get to all of them this week. Oh my God. There's just, tomorrow I want to review Daredevil. Good Lord. They're just, the amount of stories here, it's just crazy. I'm looking through things because there are a couple things that I definitely want to get to. Okay. Yeah, there's a couple things I definitely want to get to, but I'm trying to decide what my beginning story is. There's so many. I'm afraid that I'm just going to get into the weeds on my beginning story. And I don't really want to get into the weeds. I may have to cover this story a second time. Let me put it that way. I may have to cover the story that I'm going to cover first. I may have to cover that story a second time. But the first story that I'm going to cover is out of thatparkplace.com. So now this first story is about, or I should say, this story is about Walt Disney World. And the interesting thing about Walt Disney World is it's supposed to be all about stories, but it's also supposed to be about stories that some of which, when Walt was alive, he loved. And the things that Walt loved that he put in his parks should never be touched, just so that we have an homage always to Walt himself, and so that like Walt's spirit lives in the parks. Well, this first story is about the opposite of that happening, and we don't necessarily, as fans of Disney and as fans of Walt especially, I don't really love the direction that they are going with this. So we're going to put this on the screen. Out of That Park Place, former Imagineering Senior Vice President Eddie Sato speaks out against Disney for Rivers of America demolition. It's not just about nostalgia. It's an important story. We got to get to it. Former Walt Disney Imagineering Senior VP Eddie Sato has added more fuel to the fire regarding Disney's decision to bulldoze the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island at Magic Kingdom and Walt Disney World, expanding on why he believes this is a disastrous mistake. Following his earlier confirmation that Disney is fully aware of the fan backlash but does not care, noting that the issue is closed, Sato returned to X to explain why the loss of the Rivers of America isn't just about nostalgia. It's about theme park design done right. This is his post on X, Eddie Sato. The issue may be closed and life will go on, but I'd like to say that losing the river is not just about nostalgia. It's a subconscious contrast that gives the other lands their immersive impact. Sleek metal future versus vast, untamed nature. Chocolate and peanut butter. That's probably the whole post is going to be later on. And, there you can see in this map, like we're looking at the map right now, Rivers of America, our Magic Kingdom. This is the Magic Kingdom map. And when you see the contrast just on the map alone from above, you see all the water on the left. You see water in the circle in the middle, right? And then you have the contrast over in Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. It's a very, very balanced park currently. So his whole quote is, "The issue may be closed and life will go on, but I'd like to say that losing the river is not just about nostalgia. It's a subconscious contrast that gives the other lands their immersive impact," Sutter wrote. "Sleek metal future versus vast untamed nature, chocolate and peanut butter. Stepping from one into another makes the immersion experience fun and impossible. Even in energy level, parks are now adding decompression lawns, but the river and TSI, that's Tom Sawyer's Island, played that role for decades. Parks should be designed holistically and emotionally. Epic Universe is emphasizing this contrast with its portals." Just a thought. Disney's broken design philosophy called out by one of their own. Sato's comments seem to go far beyond just opposing the Rivers of America removal. He's calling out Disney's entire approach to theme park design in recent years, an approach that prioritizes IP placement over strong, immersive world building. His argument, the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island weren't just there to take up space. They were essential in the way that the Magic Kingdom was built. The untamed, natural feel of the river provided a contrast to the sleek, futuristic look of Tomorrowland, the grandeur of Fantasyland, and the excitement of Adventureland. Guests didn't just walk from one land to another, they transitioned through different visual and emotional environments, making each one feel more immersive. This is a fundamental principle of theme park design, and Disney is now throwing it away. Eddie Sato even praised Universal's Epic Universe, which is taking the opposite approach, designing its lands with massive immersive portals that create clear visual and emotional contrast. Meanwhile, Disney is gutting one of the last remnants of thoughtful design at the Magic Kingdom. This is taking a look at Tom Sawyer's Island and the map of Tom Sawyer's Island. And I just feel like, personally, even if they wanted to get rid of the Tom Sawyer theming, they should keep the island and keep the rivers and just re-theme them, but leave them as they are. A recap. Disney is ripping out Magic Kingdom's heart for another IP land. As we reported earlier, Disney has officially received approval to move forward with a Cars-themed expansion at Magic Kingdom, wiping out the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island in the process. Disney recently secured a permit from the South Florida Water Management District, allowing them to modify the 407 basin stormwater system, impacting 61.93 acres of wetlands and surface water. For decades, Rivers of America, the Liberty Bell Riverboat, and Tom Sawyer Island provided a peaceful Americana-inspired escape from the rest of the park, a natural contrast that enhanced the immersion of each surrounding land, a storytelling element that connected Frontierland, Liberty Square, and Adventureland. Disney is now gutting this historic area to shove in a Pixar expansion featuring a high-speed Cars rally race through mountains, geysers, and mud holes, and a smaller family-friendly Cars ride aimed at younger guests. So, I'm not upset about the rides or the theming in and of itself. I just don't believe that it belongs in this park. It belongs adjacent to at really Hollywood Studios. That's the closest park they have where the theming could potentially fit. But as far as Magic Kingdom, it doesn't fit at all. It just does not. They're trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. This decision sparked massive backlash, with fans accusing Disney of stripping history from its parks in favor of a quick cash grab IP integrations. Before today's follow-up post, Eddie Sato had already confirmed what many suspect that Disney is fully aware of the fan outrage, but has no interest in changing course. These posts are from X too. Eddie, sorry to intrude on this post, but is it possible you can get a group of Imagineers together and contact whoever it is at Burbank? Tell them to please stop their plans to destroy Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island. Eddie Sato says others have tried and failed. As far as I know, the issue is closed. WDI is already well aware of the SM Post issues and opinions. In other words, they're very much aware of the backlash. They're very much aware that the fans of Disney, the people that give them money, are going to stop. They don't care. I don't know why. You would think that if you knew you were going to put something out there that nobody was going to buy, that you'd just stop making it. I don't get it. Anyway, that's modern Disney. When asked by a concerned fan if Imagineering can still fight to save the Rivers of America, Sutter replied, others try to fail. As far as I know, the issue's closed. WDI already well aware of the SM Post issues and opinions. Disney is ignoring what made the Magic Kingdom great. Sato's deeper criticism of this move isn't just about the destruction of another classic attraction. His point is bigger. Disney has stopped designing its theme parks with any sense of flow or contrast. Instead of immersive worlds, they're plopping IPs wherever they can fit. Instead of letting areas breathe, they're forcing everything to be a constant rush of high-energy attractions. Not good in a theme park, by the way. Instead of understanding the emotional journey of theme park guests, they're focusing entirely on synergy and branding. Meanwhile, Epic Universe is doing the exact opposite, building massive themed lands that feel like actual worlds, each one separated by a dramatic transition space. It's a me, it's a Mario, let's go. Disney, on the other hand, is gutting its own historical design philosophy in favor of throwing whatever is marketable into a space, no matter how much it disrupts the experience. Sato's comments may not change Disney's decision, but they validate everything fans have been saying. This is bad design, bad storytelling, bad long-term planning for the parks. Disney isn't just bulldozing Rivers of America, they're bulldozing the entire design philosophy that made Magic Kingdom an immersive, emotionally engaging theme park. And they don't care what fans or probably former Imagineers think about it. So, there you go. Eddie Sato, former Imagineer, giving his take that, well, this just isn't great. Like, again, goes into my hat, make Disney Walt again. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Just bothers me. Going Shogi says there's a lot of cool stuff they could do to utilize that island and river without ripping it out. There are so many things. And I still think like the Villain's Land idea is conceptually great, but unfortunately late because now you have the monsters thing in Universal Epic Universe. And the biggest problem with Villain's Land now is no matter how good it is, it will always be compared with what they've done over at Epic Universe for the monsters because it looks like a response to that rather than the thing that the fans have been asking for years, which it is the thing that the fans have been asking for years. People wanted a Villain's Park. They didn't want a Villain's Land. They thought it would be a good idea for a fifth gate. I understand why they don't want to make Villains an entire park, but if they're going to do Villain's Land, though, it just makes more sense to me, especially with Frontierland. And that period of time, there were so many good ghost stories that came out of that period of time, right? The Wild West, the early frontier, all those types of things. There were a lot of good ghost stories that came out of that. And you have right now, sitting on the edge of Frontierland and just behind Rivers of America, you have the Haunted Mansion, which is a great backdrop for ghost stories, right? So my thought, my thought is that why don't they take Tom Sawyer's Island, change it into, they can get rid of the Tom Sawyer theming, although here's why you don't want to get rid of the island. You don't want to get rid of the island because Walt himself designed it. That's like a huge thing right there. So keep that. But use it as a secret entryway to Villain's Land. I think there are things that they could do, just knowing how it's engineered and knowing how the tunnels are and stuff. It would be really, really cool if there was a way that you could have a tunnel that would go down and go over to the new Villain's Land, and you could have the island be like Haunted Island, and none of that has to do with any new IP. That's the rest of my caffeine. Hello, Jonathan. I see that you have popped in and you're on the way to the gym. Have a good workout. Got questions. Why can I not watch it right now? What can you not watch right now? Oh, okay. How long in? I'm assuming you mean how long can I watch there? Okay, so Daredevil Born Again comes out on Disney Plus tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time zone. So apparently it's like 3:00 in the morning in the UK, I think, something like that. So just to answer your question, that is when it comes out, 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's when it will be released on Disney Plus, and that's when everybody can watch it. Until then, you can watch the end of season 3 of Daredevil. So there you go. Just got here. We'll catch up on the rewind later. Well, so far you have only missed one story, Alyssa 1225, and that was about the destruction of rivers of America. So we are going to go on to story 2 right now, anyhow, and that is also out of that Park Place. We're talking about Captain America: Brave New World not doing so well at the box office. Yes, it is a follow-up. I've been following this all the way. So before we get to the good Marvel, we got to get to the bad Marvel, unfortunately. So we'll put that up on the screen. Captain America: Brave New World suffers another brutal box office drop in the third weekend. Marvel film will struggle to reach $400 million. That's not good. With a reported budget before marketing of $180 million, that would mean that even if that figure were true for the cost of Captain America: Brave New World, it would have to have made back $360 million just to hit a break-even point. Now, we know that the budget and the cost are two different things, and it probably cost, with reshoots, with marketing, with everything, definitely costs over $400 million just to put out there into the world, which means they would need to make at least $800 million back before it starts to turn a profit. The $800 million is the minimum break-even point for this. They're losing a lot of money on this film. So out of that Park Place, we have this story by Mr. M. Montanaro, the editor-in-chief of that Park Place. Captain America: Brave New World suffers another brutal box office drop in third weekend. Marvel film will struggle to reach $400 million. There's Anthony Mackie's Captain Falcon America. Captain America: Brave New World has managed to hold on to the number one spot at the box office for a third weekend in a row, but there's little to celebrate. The film brought in just $15 million domestically, a staggering 85% drop from its opening weekend and a 46% decline from its second weekend, making its top of the chart status more an indictment on the current state of Hollywood than an accolade for the troubled movie. Yeah, there's nothing else that's at the movies right now. It's kind of a bad time for movies. Like, don't go. The only thing that is in the movie theaters right now that I highly recommend everybody go and see is The Unbreakable Boy, starring Zachary Levi. Definitely want to see that movie. If you haven't had a chance, go see Unbreakable Boy. These numbers paint a bleak picture for the latest Marvel Studio release, which has been struggling to maintain momentum ever since its debut. Despite remaining unchallenged by any major blockbuster competition, Brave New World continues to tumble, signaling that audiences simply aren't turning up in the numbers Marvel once commanded. Disappointing numbers and an uphill battle to break even. This film's total domestic haul now stands at $163.7 million, a shockingly low number for what was once one of the MCU's most bankable franchises. Overseas, it has earned $180 million, bringing its worldwide total to all of $341.8 million. For a standard blockbuster, these numbers might be respectable, but for Captain America movie, especially one that was supposed to establish Anthony Mackie as the new face of the franchise, this is an undeniable failure. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which was considered a financial disaster for Marvel, managed to surpass $470 million worldwide. Most concerningly, Brave New World is still well short of the $400 million mark, a number that certain media outlets have misleadingly labeled as its break-even point. However, that figure is based on the studio's reported budget of $180 million, a number that industry insiders have repeatedly disputed. With multiple rounds of costly reshoots factored in, Brave New World is believed to have cost between $350 million and $375 million to produce, meaning the film would need closer to $900 million globally just to break even. At its current trajectory, the film will struggle to even hit half of that amount. It might make back its total cost, but the thing is, it has to make twice its total cost in order to hit a break-even point. More trouble ahead for Marvel Studios. With Brave New World falling off a cliff, Marvel is already shifting focus to its next two films, Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four: First Steps, both slated for summer releases. The studio is likely hoping these projects can inject new life into the MCU. But given the franchise's recent struggles, there's no guarantees that audiences will return in force. Marvel's recent box office disappointments, including Eternals, The Marvels, and Quantumania, have all suffered from similar audience fatigue and lukewarm reception, with each film struggling to justify ballooning costs. If Brave New World's numbers are any indication, the studio may be looking at yet another difficult year ahead. So, yeah, looking at the rest of the article, we're talking about rocky production, rocky box office performance. It was all over the place. Basically, the gist of the story is Anthony Mackie's Captain America, or his version of Captain America, it isn't cutting it. I think it could have. I think that this movie happening 6 years. Wow, 6 years. This movie happened 6 years after the release of Endgame. Okay. So Anthony Mackie was handed the shield at the end of Endgame. His Captain America movie probably needed to be closer to that time. Yeah. Every dollar this movie loses comes out of theme park maintenance budget when Captain America suffers through the parks. You're absolutely right, Going Show. That's one of the biggest problems right now is that the theme park budgets are based on movies winning, and that's not a good thing. It should be quite the exact opposite, because the theme parks, especially Walt Disney World, we know Walt Disney World is where the Disney company makes the vast majority of its money. So if they get Walt Disney World wrong and they start losing out to Universal, depending on how much share, if Epic Universe takes a large share, if Universal takes a large share of Disney, none of that's good for the Disney company. None of that's good for movies. None of that's good for Marvel, Star Wars. It's that right now, unfortunately, and I say definitely unfortunately, the Disney company as a whole is on a downward trajectory, which is sad, which is really, really sad. Of course, we are on an upward trajectory because we have all of you in the chat. And I want to thank every single one of you for being here and being in the chat thus far. And for that, I think we have to throw down at least one small celebration, right? That's right. We got to celebrate good times. Come on. Yes, indeed. Love celebrating all of you in the chat. So thank you so much for being here. And now we actually are going to turn the table and maybe talk about, or not maybe, we're actually going to talk about something that may be a good thing for Marvel. It's not at the movie theaters, which is maybe somewhat unfortunate, but it is leading to, I think, moving Marvel in the right direction as far as television is concerned, and maybe it will do something in the movies. And depending on the reception, in the past, and when I say the past, I'm talking about 40, 50 years ago in the past. In the past, there was a time that Disney actually listened to its audience. And if they did something that didn't work out very well, they listened to the audience and turned it around. Bob Iger doesn't seem to have that eagerness to listen to the audience and turn things around, especially when it comes to the parks. But maybe they're listening to the audience when it comes to Marvel, because it does seem like the Daredevil project is going to be good. Now, it comes on tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time zone. So whenever that is, that means that like across the pond, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. It might be, I think it's 2 or 3 a.m. that it comes on in the morning over there in the UK. Wherever you are, it's going to come out exactly the same actual time slot. That's going to be a different time depending on what time zone you're in. So for me, it's 9 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to look at what the early reviews sound very, very promising. Alan Ng, who I have met and I now know a little bit and trust his opinion. He said very good things about it. He's been able to watch a screener. So I'm excited. So we're going to look at what they say out of Rotten Tomatoes, what to watch news. It says Daredevil Born Again first reactions, gritty, intense, and just as compelling as its predecessor. So Christopher Campbell says critics on social media say Marvel's reintroduction of the Man Without Fear picks up right where the Netflix series left off, with fierce action, thoughtful storytelling, and fantastic lead performances. I'm very curious how they're going to maybe work the storyline of the blip in. If they're going to address that or how they're going to address that, I have no idea. If they are, or if they do, how they're going to do that, I don't know. I really don't know, but we shall see. But I want to look up because there's a number of like just instant responses. This is not full reviews or anything like that, but the responses I think so far are good. Does it feel like the Netflix Daredevil series? Okay, so Daredevil Born Again comes out swinging. It's a true continuation of the Netflix series. It kicks behind, moves quick, and takes no prisoners. Brandon Davis from Phase Hero. The first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again are a terrific start to the series, affirming Marvel Studios' commitment to the original series tone and feel that is out of the nerds of color. Then another reaction. The first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again dismantle and rebuild what Netflix previously assembled. Eric Marchin, Rogers TV. Daredevil Born Again is a powerful reintroduction to Marvel's most complex and scourged character. Daniel Baptista, the movie podcast. Daredevil Born Again very much honors the original while setting up the characters we love for a new era. That is Ron Scholl out of POC Culture. They totally lay the foundation, seamlessly connecting the story from the Netflix era, but then turn the page with absolute confidence, promising an exciting journey ahead for Disney Plus. That is Najir Chambers out of the Big Gold Belt Media. Fans of the original series are in for a treat, echoing the first season's intensity and rage. All I can say is the Man Without Fear is back. Daredevil Born Again opens with a lengthy, devastating sequence that screams, "This is just as brutal as Netflix Sean O'Connell's Cinema Blend." And Daredevil Born Again brings my boy back to me. I love having my devil back. Rachel Leishman out of the Mary Sue. How does it compare with other Marvel shows? Daredevil Born Again has the best pilot of any MCU series thus far, and it's not close. That is really good to hear. That is Liam Crowley out of Screen Rant. If the momentum of the first 2 episodes is indicative of what the rest of the series has in store, this may be the best Marvel TV series to date, says Jamie Broadnax, Black Girl Nerds. While totally different, the strangest part of Daredevil Born Again is that it shares an episodic structure with She-Hulk, with a guest star Defendant of the Week presentation to bring new and old characters into the fold. I don't know what that means. That one doesn't sound particularly great to me. We'll see. Is the story worth following? The first 2 episodes lay out a layered story about cops, vigilantes, and guilt. Off to a great start. Sean O'Connell, Cinema Blend. This is a story about Matt getting back up after a major blow, so we're just getting started. The Nerds of Color. The first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again kick off with a shocking event, setting the stage for an electrifying clash between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk. Shabazz Siddiqui, the movie podcast. It sets the stage for the darkest and most brutal chapter yet. I've seen the first 2 episodes and very optimistic for the rest, says Daniel Baptista, the movie podcast. An intriguing story setup, Emily Murray total film. The series borrows plot elements from Batman Returns and Batman Forever, making it somewhat familiar as a faux docudrama procedural. Eric Martin Rogers TV. Does it get better as it continues? I liked episode 2 more than episode 1 because it took the story in an unexpected direction. Really interested in this plot. Sean O'Connell out of Cinema Blend. Once things settle down, you really get a feel for how the series handles its grimy little corner of the MCU. I think we're in for a treat, says Eamon Jacobs of Business Insider. How is the action? Incredible, bone-crunching action, Ron Soul, of POC culture. Daredevil Born Again is gritty, ruthless, and unforgivingly bloody, says Anthony Gagliardi out of the movie podcast. Daredevil Born Again doubles down on the grit, brutality, and raw bone-crunching action that made us fall in love with the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. Every punch hits harder. Every shadow runs deeper. This is Daredevil at his absolute best. You won't just be satisfied. You will be blown away, says Najir. This goes on. I mean, like, this goes on and on, but almost all of this is really, really, really good stuff. We're not going to get to all of these little snippets here. My only point to sharing this at all was the fact that it's exciting. It's exciting that something good may be coming back to Marvel and the MCU. And I don't know, are you guys excited to watch this series? Are you looking forward to it? Are you skeptical? I don't want to go into it with high expectations because it's still Disney Marvel, and which was, good until Endgame, or through most of Endgame. Endgame had one major spot that took the movie down a big notch, and that was when all the girls got together, and it was the girl power moment. And it's not because it's a girl power moment. It's because it didn't make any sense in the plot. Where did they all come from? It just so on a big giant battlefield, it just so happens that every single female gathered together. It was so weird. It was so convoluted. It didn't make any sense. So that one took Endgame down a notch, and it was just dumb. Native Hawaiian says, not excited at all. Dario Scartapane is running the show, and Marvin covered the issues in his article on TPP. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Again, like I said, I'm going into it with a degree of skepticism, but yeah, I remember the article that Marvin wrote. But we'll see. We'll see. I agree that this is exciting for something new and positive response. Not my show, but if it sounds good, I may watch. This is a very, I mean, it's a very R-rated type of show. It's very, TV mature type of show. It's not your like basic fun, family friendly Marvel, but I'm excited for the series if it follows up with Netflix in a good way. So we shall see how it goes. I mean, what else can we do? But if it is good, it'll be nice to have something good in Marvel back again. But you know what is really, really good? It's all of you guys watching. And I want to thank you for being here today. So before we head out the door, we got to have a celebration.
Too much? Too much? It's perfect! Wahoo!
Oh, this is so nice. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation. It's making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
All right. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're getting ready to head over to Culture Casino, the 6-minute daily, followed by Morning Magic out of that Park Place, followed by the WDW Bro Show, which I think I'm going to be on today, and T3PO after that, which I think I'm going to be on today. And then tonight, Spice Lounge, which I think I'm going to be on today. Tuesdays are a busy day for me. So I'll be all over the place. I don't know where you guys are going to be. Hopefully, we will see you in some of the other chats. Get better going, Shogi, and anybody else who is needing healing prayers for everybody out there, because I know there's quite a few of you today that need that healing power from above. Thank you guys so much for being here. And until next time, we will see you real soon. Bye, everybody. Ciao.